May 26, 2024. Of course, one of the riffraff. I don't want to hear anything about this. I told her she couldn't say anything. Who the hell do you think you're fooling? Who the hell do you think you're fooling? Everybody go online and turn this in. Because, like they said in Marshall's today, none of this is funny. They found a tape of that agent admitting he told on her before. He was witnessed by police officers at Apostolic Church of Barberton telling on me before I called him back from calling the FBI hotline. Dave told Danny he talked to him at that church, and on a recorded line, he confessed he met with the Vegas and the church people several times. Like the prosecutor's office, he was only bullying you. He's only a hired police officer. He can't even ask you to stay quiet. He don't have that kind of authority. He was only bullying you. I said, well, he confessed several times. He told on me before. Well, the police know they can't go along with it. That he didn't have the authority and he can't bully you into false statements and he can't ask you to stay quiet, and they know it takes a judge to put a gag order on you. And he was only bullying you. On a recorded line, I tell him someone told on me the night before. He calls me a liar. I tell him that about the guy that threatened to knife me. He calls me a liar. Was there a camera above the bench? I don't know. You say you're lying or I'll put you in jail. I said, what? I said, but he tried to kidnap me before. He's like, oh, come on. I have met with those church people and that family that lost their kid in that traffic accident. What'd you just say? And I know they're trying to kill you because you were faking you were sick and faking you got well while that family was grieving. It's like I really was sick. Was there a camera above that bench or not? I don't know. You say you're lying or I'll arrest you. I'm like, what? He said, I said, say you're lying or I'll put you in jail. And he starts screaming. And he's like, I said, say it or I'll arrest you. It's like, fine, whatever. Ha, 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 ha. He let a serial killer go. Big reward, how to find him. Had slaughtered my co-worker Lori's family member. Went on to take Marlisa's niece. Part of the Florida human traffickers. And I'm describing a serial killer. Okay? He's like, no, I want you to say you're faking you were sick before. I really was sick. It's documented medical malpractice, documented medication errors. And after I had a bunch of surgeries, my muscles locked up. Went to a bunch of crackpots, falsely diagnosed me, gave me the wrong meds, made me swell from my feet to my brain. Made my heart valves enlarge. My thyroid adrenal gland shut down. Made me gain 150 pounds in about a year. And my legs are so swollen, my knees are popping out of place. I almost died, and they were lying, and they made my brain swell, and they told me I had brain tumors, needed to get part of my pituitary gland out of my brain removed. Took another doctor to tell me they were just ripping off my insurance. They were known for it. Falsely diagnosing and lying on people. And ripping and getting kickbacks from the drug companies from $200 to $1,000 per false prescription, sharing with their associates and their friends, and all known for doing it, and wanting and keeping you sick, so you have to keep coming back, and then wanting to do unnecessary procedures. Turn them into the state so the state pulls their license. Get off the medication. There's nothing wrong with you, but your muscles locked up from all those surgeries. It's the medicine making you sick. And get an attorney and sue them. Encouraged Dave and I to sue him for 2 years. And over 9 months, I slowly got well. Learning to walk on numb feet. Within 30 days of being off of it, I lost 30 pounds. By the second month, the brain swelling was gone. My heart, where I was having many heart attacks on the medicine. I got off the calcium blockers and the nitro pills. My thyroid and adrenal glands started working again. It was all chemically shut down. They almost killed me. In the middle of me almost being well, that family, her father did an arrogant stunt, ran a stop sign in front of a bunch of church people into a semi, killed himself and their kid. Had nothing to do with it. My whole family was home. Brian had to come tell us. And then I finished getting well in July. Started with Dr. Eli on pain medicine, muscle relaxers, get off the other in November 2002. I'm almost well by April 2003. The traffic accident was May 3rd, 2003. And I finished getting well in July of 2003. And Strange made up that baby lie in November of 2003 when he thought I caught his son in adultery with my sister. My sister Linda's married to his son Tim, and he was caught out with Katie, and Linda was following him. And he thought it was me. And he thought I'd tell. So he made up a baby lie and threw me out. Oh, you were faking through all that. 4 years. It takes a nitwit to fall for that. And that family using their family tragedy just to kill people and don't have anything to do with what happened. Do you realize how mentally ill the Vegas are? Like they said, they made up a reason to kill her. And they waited 15 years. I didn't go to their church. They had to hunt me down. It's documented medical malpractice and documented medication errors. Dr. Eli occurred, and then he got me on fentanyl patches because my muscles were locked so tight, and muscle relaxers, and slow, long physical therapy, and that's how I got well. Okay, everybody was encouraging me, including the Vegas. Carrying a lot so much weight, we see you pulling ourselves up and down streets, malls, stores. You're going to beat this. It's like when they talk about remission, it can't happen fast enough. You'll beat it on your own. That was in April. I'm almost well. Took me till July. And Strange made that shitty lie up in November when Belinda came up to me. I was following him again. I got caught. I think they thought it was you. I'm sorry. Be careful. Well, he discredited me real quick and got rid of me. It's a baby shitty lie. Has nothing to do with him. He didn't even lie that I had anything to do with the traffic accident. Her father was showing off, blew through a stop sign into a semi in front of church people in my whole family's home. We just went to the same church. Back in 2003. I hadn't went to that church in years. Had nothing to do with them, and they hunted me down for a lie a minister made up that they knew better. The agent said, I want you to say you were faking you were sick before. I said I really was sick. Dear God, I almost died. He's like, I've met with that family in my office and all those church people, and I know they're trying to kill you because you were faking you were sick and faking you got well. Well, that family was grieving. I said I really was sick before. He's like, you need to realize what you've done, and I don't blame them for trying to kill you. I said I really was sick. You either say it or I'll leave you there. I said they've tried to kill me, so. I said they'll kill me, then you better say it or I'll leave you there. And I start begging this bastard for my life. He's like, you say it or I'll leave you there. It's like, fine, just don't let him kill me. Ha, 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 ha. Okay? What did he just say? He told on me. Dave told Danny he talked to him at that church. He was witnessed by the police up there telling on me. Meeting with Dave. Dave said he met with him as soon as I walked off. So why would you ask somebody to stay quiet when you've already talked to everybody? Like the prosecutor's office? He was bullying you. And the police would know that and they can't go along with it. So they get away with this. He thought he had some drugged up rape victim, the cartel and a cult running a scam on, and he had to steal their money. That's why he did it. He's a dirty cop. And he's like, you either say it or I'll leave you there. And that's like, fine, just don't let him kill me. Ha, 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 ha. Why would that be? I help a person like you. Well, they try to kill me, so. It's a sworn duty. They'll kill me, so give me a real reason. Then the other agent, the scam of the shower scene, the scam of where Bruce is throwing out part racing, infected, almost passing out, where they had been drugging the hell out of me all summer. We could always use Pete's tape, which is Alex, which is Savannah's Facebook friend, and a beard and a wig, running it, breaking in people's home, drugging them up, telling them to say something stupid, and raping them in a Santa beard. Like they said it was a freak in a Santa beard raping her and drugging her. We could always use Pete's tape, but weird with yourself the washing scene. The police already know it's a shower scene. Dave's told Danny hired Pete on his own. Which is Alex, which is Savannah, which was his girlfriend, that had a baby by a big drug dealer. That's why the cartel latched onto this. Big scam. He didn't arrest him for violating me and my children, my grandchildren. Selling kiddie porn or little kids going potty. So that agents aiding and abetting kiddie porn. Human trafficking of women under drugs, drug beating, raping them. He told Apostolic Church of Barberton he knew they were drug beating, raping me, didn't care because the strangers lie. Told all of them. And he was going to turn me back over to him. Investigators went up there and said, no, that's funny, he did tell all those people that. You could always use Pete's tape or weird with yourself the washing scene in the other room. Only Pete I know is my brother Medina. I said, what are you talking about? It's a shower scene and a sextortion act. He didn't arrest them. By federal, state, local laws, they were to be arrested. And he said, well, we could use Pete's tape, but blah, blah. No, I've never talked to him. Never even had my neighbors in my home. I am like, what are you talking about? He's making fun of me for the serial rapist stabbing me in my sleep, roofing drinks when I'm out of the room and I don't know they're in my home. A sexual predator preying on a victim. And he's making fun of the victim on a recorded line. I said, what are you talking about? Stop, you don't know. I bet you're going to say you don't know anything about this doctor sharing your information. And I told you some other woman by the second year of my marriage was using my insurance. Back then you just had to call in your insurance later. It's probably one of my ex-husband's girlfriends. They said some lady stole it. Got it? She stayed in the hospital. I had a hospital call me one time. I want to talk about your stay in the hospital. And I'm like, I haven't stayed in your hospital in a while. Well, you got 2 little girls. No, I have 3 stinky boys. It wasn't me. And she went Harry-Carry on my insurance and got stuck with the co-pays. Okay? I thought maybe it was one of hers. And here's just some guy impersonating a doctor. HIPAA violations, none of your doctors can talk to him. That's where Altman Hospital, December 30th, no one's to ever talk to these people. My God. They had somebody impersonate a doctor from Altman Hospital selling people's information. Hospital gets sued. Oh, and get fined by the state. Be lucky they don't get shut down. And no one's to ever back those doctors from before. My God, they were all lying. And they were just ripping off our insurance. And no one's to ever back somebody lying to rip off their insurance. And the medicine's making us sick with medication errors. They're lying. My God, they were lying so bad. They said she had brain tumors and there was nothing wrong with her. And it was them making her sick. No one's to ever back that. December 30th, 23, cops walked by all those doctors were lying before? Yes. And then none of this is funny. It was the medicine making her sick. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay? To that guy. And he's like, stop, you don't know. Give me a real reason. Well, my brother-in-law, Craig, he was a private consultant for the FBI, unrestricted war weapons, spyware, spy satellites, traveled the world and worked under Dick Cheney. That makes him CIA. Okay? Tell him his name, when he died. He said, first of all, he said, have you talked to any law enforcement? I said, the only two officers I ever talked to were silly or stupid. I had a light in the security system on August 8th of 18. They came out and they said it looks like an alien orb or angry spirit. He's like, you're kidding. I said, no, I thought they were dehydrated, and I offered him water. He starts chuckling. And I said, then they told me to buy a big dog, open the door, and let the dog handle it. Somebody come on my property. They didn't want bothered. You're kidding. I said, matter of fact, I've never even had my neighbors in my home. I've only had my family, repair guys, and installation guys. And I've only talked to those two officers. I don't know what you're talking about. He went from laughing at me to choking on his laughter. Is that what's going on? Then he offers to take me somewhere and leave me with no money. Then he said if you agree to get information on Dave and the churches. Now he's already talked to everybody. Been witnessed by the police telling on me before he talked to me. Okay? Everybody knows. And there was over 300 people at Apostolic Church of Barberton that night, and if he met with Strangers Church and Blaylock's, he told 500 to 900 people. Everybody knew. Dave, everybody. Okay? If you agree to get information on Dave and the churches, I can list your informant. I thought, well, they're already breaking in the mall. Katie's breaking into Sarah, this girl at sales. Her old manager, older blonde lady, and a girl with dark hair and dark eyes went from sales to Ashcroft and Oak. That had been her church trying to kill me with the 4 attempts. I thought, well, it won't last very long. They'll get them and nobody else will get hurt. I said, well, I can do that. He said, I'm opening an account with $5,000 a month. He said, and you'll have that money to live on when the case is over. He said, you'll have a life of peace as an informant. Nothing legally stated, dated against you again. And only for you and only for you would we ever do this for. We'll always put it back as if it never happened. And you can't be legally charged again for anything for working this case. Admit to no wrongdoing, and I'll take care of everything in the end. But if you try to tell someone unless you're crazy and no one will help you. 14th, I told the prosecutor's office that. They laughed till they cried. A guy from there had tears laughing so hard. He said, for one thing, the police know he can't bully you into false statements. Badgering, Department of Justice 1729. It's tampering with witnesses, tampering with evidence, and it's obstructing justice. Okay? He said, and they all know that he can't ask you to stay quiet. He's only a higher police officer. It takes a judge for the First Amendment, the freedom of speech, to put a gag order on you. He's only a higher police officer. And they can't go along with any of that. And they would know he was only bullying you. So they'd get away with this. "14th Amendment. You cannot withhold protection and you cannot seize somebody's money, but due process of the law. You have to be found guilty and sued for it. Never happened. 4th Amendment. The right of the people to be safe and secure within your own person. Your places, your homes, your papers, and effects against all unreasonable searches or seizures shall not be violated. Your home can't be violated. Like the prosecutor's office, they did the biggest mistake they did at your home. It's a right to privacy. No searches, no seizures, but upon probable cause warranted. You have to have a court order with an oath or affirmation of people, places, and things to be searched and seized. To actually monitor your home, police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements. That's where Officer Reinhardt laughed. I don't care what these people say they got. I don't care what they say they did. Even the FBI would go to jail being in your home outside a protected life case with statements. Like the agent had agreed to protect you and have statements of threat of life, or they couldn't be in your home. That's where the Portage County Sheriffs, what these people did is illegal. It's the 4th Amendment, yes. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements, yes. Criminal attorney, Dave can't hire Pete or anybody on his own to watch you. No one could be in your home with that protected like this with statements. That agent cannot talk to you like that, and he cannot ask you to stay quiet, and you do get the money for working the case and only for working the case. So did the prosecutor's office, and so did the police out of this area. And the police out of this area said, you know, if he stole your money, he stole others. He's became too arrogant. He's doing it in front of people. He stole $335,000. And where I got from the tip on Truckasami that Michael Peterson was smuggling oil into the country, got where he was, when he was leaving, where he was staying in Venezuela, the port where it's coming in, and then the state where the refinery was. He may have stolen my $10 million for the reward of money because that led to his arrest. Gave it back to him in 21. The man's a thief. He's a dirty cop. And he makes the good ones look bad. For all the officers that lay their life down and take their oath sincerely to protect the community and our nation, he makes them look bad. My brother-in-law died working for our government. And it infuriates me when people take law enforcement and use it as a weapon to allow people to get harmed, to extort money from victims. When there's good people out there laying their life down. And good men and women get killed trying to protect all of us. I have really good officers that watch me, that have saved my life several times, and people cannot insult the police around me. It infuriates me because they have protected me and defended me and proved my innocence. It's weird being an FBI informant. Dave said you got men around you, and men and women. I have people, I have men, but I don't have men. I have people, but I don't have people. They're just there. Dressed in regular clothes most of the time, shopping with me. Like today, they were talking. They found the recorded line. He did admit to telling on her before and did talk to her like that. And they fed her to the drug cartel. I know this is funny. It's not. They took a human trafficking victim the cartel was running a scam on and fed it back to the cartel. Everybody turn him in. That agent is not funny. And they need to arrest him. That's where Sheriff David Wondon, Mike DeWine's cousin, wanted to know what was wrong with our local police, why they didn't arrest that agent the first day for the way he talked to you. And those people for what they did to you and your family. That's where Sheriff Joe in Florida said these people are pulling nothing but shit. They can't do any of this. Massillon police officer, October or November of 21, was talking to a lady. I'm here to watch her. There's a Steve and Eric stalking her, and we don't know who they are yet. And it's finally got funny. After everything they did, nothing's admissible. It's not. That's where Eric, one of the stalkers, November 18th, 2 to 6 p.m., the sheriff's have his confession. All the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to do it, my idea to sing. For all those people turn on her and they fell for it, ha 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 ha. Well, if it was only you, I could take care of it. I know it's that bad and I still fell for it. June 30th, 23. They said he went to a party and he laughed how he made fools out of all these people into helping out. And was laughing, and he was the life of the party. That he fooled everybody with a stunt of tapes before people were screaming at Hartville and Akron. So he made fools out of everyone. June 7th, 23. Walmart 62, 10:11 in the morning. Lighthouse Tabernacle and the drug cartel publicly humiliates the FBI. FBI agent John fell for the stunt of tapes before? Oh, come on now. That FBI agent actually fell for that? You mean John actually fell for it? You mean that FBI agent actually fell for a stunt of tapes before? It was only a stunt. Had me drugged, beaten, raped, drugged up, and told to say stuff, photoshopped, washing, and stalking tapes to a sick satanic occult that they all should arrested for their confession. Publicly mocks them. Is that what's going on? Oh, come on, FBI agent John actually fell for it? It was only a stunt. You're kidding, right? That FBI agent actually fell for that? Ha, 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 ha. FBI agent John fell for the stunt of tapes before? Ha, 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 ha. Sheriffs have their confession. July 9th, 23 in Trinity Gospel, some of the cartel was daring the FBI. The FBI wouldn't dare fix this. Dared it. They have confessed, let's see, to edit the Oakland apartment, December 9, 21. Everything was drugged and photoshopped. It's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here. There's someone to stop them. Same day, white man bald with dark eyes distributing food at the Stark County Hunger Task Force on 9th Street actually was one of my guards. Came out, we always knew the tapes before were them and not her, so I never said the word. They all talked to the police and investigators. I had a client, Navarre, her next door neighbor. They told him in March of 22, where the scam of retired judge drug beat and raping people trying to extort money from him. It's Savannah's Facebook friend in a weird and wig and beard. If he said it's a freaking a Santa beard drug and raping people. They had told the client's neighbor that and it was ordered by Pete, which is Alex, the guy that followed around to me. Everything be drugged, photoshopped, and made up on me. That lady talked Well, not only investigators can't replace a lady from the FBI office. May 25th, 21, 6 p.m., Louisville. Of the church people breaking in before, drugging me and telling me say weirdo molester stuff. That's not funny. I have 2 witnesses in my phone. 8/9/21, the apartment building for me, second close offense. A lady and little girls live there. Well, outside talking about Dave roofing me too. 4 or 5 neighbors got together, did a police report of being drugged and told to say it before. January 19th, 22, Department of Disability. They told them I was drugged and told to say it before. February 2nd, 22, Burlington Coat Factory. A Latino man admitted he drugged me first and told me to say it. People ran in to save a lot. Other houses on 6th Street screaming it. They sold a log in the first month. M13 is live streaming protected custody cases. The officers that watched me think it was a fentanyl king from Texas. The fucking Iraqi terrorists, how they put it. And they try to blame Agent Will for selling it. For Will found another way of making money off the case. It's gonna sell the login for $25 a pop. It went nationwide. I can go into other states and people know the case. Big, huge men by January 19 had showed up. They looked like sumo wrestlers, long black curly hair. We all work for the king from Texas. We are his men. He sent us here to help. It's us doing it. Dave hired us. He's a drug lord. Well, who's a drug dealer known as a king? U.S. military Iraqi translator went into the dark web malware hacking of the case. Fentanyl king. Henry Moffey's men showed up by the first month of the case, the Florida human traffickers. Like the police showed up. Look at all these people they hired to murder. Thousands have been human trafficked to these monsters and murdered. They admitted, again, March 20th, 24, where my ex-boyfriend, he was part of the riffraff. Oh, ladies were complaining the police need to arrest him for extorting that money out of her. He's such a piece of work. He was too good to be true. And he started talking in his sleep one night, or one morning he woke up, and he's like, Judge Pete, I'll make love to her for you. I'll love her for you. I know they can't find out who you really are, so I'll love her for you. I said, what did you say? Rubs his eyes. It says, never mind. March 20th, 24, I go in Walmart 62, the riffraffs, and they're laughing. What do you mean he'll make love to her for Pete? They made up Pete. They made up everything on her to get away with this. What do you mean he'd make love to her for Pete? Pete's made up. It took me a few days to tell him he looked like he was going to vomit, and then he stopped wanting to touch me. Then he went to cheat on me, then he was sorry, then he got a little better, then he had his birthday, and because I bought him gifts, he was really good to me. Then he just completely stopped a couple of months ago. And then the only thing I did, my presence, I pissed him off. And I finally took my things and left. And he's extremely thin. He had had heart surgery and a bunch of other surgeries. And he had lost his job. And I asked him if we wanted to just talk, and then he's sitting there and looks thinner. And it's like, do you have even money for food? So I went to buy him food, and then he's crying how he needs his car fixed. He didn't have money for his rent. So I gave him some money because he's crying like he was having a nervous breakdown. As soon as he got the money, he changed back into an ass. Some girls were talking. I know she felt sorry for him because they tricked him into helping him out. And he was acting like he had crying all the time, acting like he was having a nervous breakdown, then took her money and went right back to being like them. Today in Myers and North Canton, they were in there talking by the milk aisle. Said I talked to the officers that actually work her case. It's ridiculous for anybody to insult her. She almost died to save children. Dave said he'd kill them all. Realize, Karen, I'll kill everything you ever loved in life. Realize and kill it. I thought you'll go through me first. If I have to tape evidence and get you myself, I'll do it. This stops with me. You will not kill my children and grandchildren. That agent knew he was even threatening Dixie and the baby's life. Where he was so rude and horrible to me, I didn't believe he was real. And I had walked out of the bathroom and I heard Dave on the phone. Dixie and the baby are next. We'll teach Josh a lesson for letting her down there. So angry he cut his hands off. So he couldn't work anymore. And therefore we have a list. We'll move on to who you want next. I Googled the office to make sure it was real. He's got a list. I'm working on it. He knew we were all in danger. He had them nailed. He could have stopped us when it started. Waco should have happened here. Like that lady said, I talked to those officers that watch her, that work the case. It's ridiculous for anybody to say anything about her. She almost died to save children. And that was their whole plan. If she didn't die, those stalking tapes with photoshopping and drugging her up and tell her to say stuff. It was their whole extortion plan to get money and things out of her. They already knew it. See, that's where Officer John, he has black hair, glasses, young guy, yelled out in Walmart 62, it's ridiculous for any child to be afraid of Karen. She's nothing but good in law. An older investigator got into a big guy's face. Don't you ever insult her, Karen. I know everything about Karen's life. She's one of the finest women you'd ever meet in life. Don't you ever insult her. Another two yelled at him, how dare these people ever insult her. She almost died to save those people. I lived through a concentration camp trying to let them get evidence to put these people in jail. I was almost murdered. I was human trafficked. I was raped. I was tortured. I had my skull crushed in. I was almost shot driving. 6 stalkers coming at me, and those officers would come out of nowhere and almost football tackle me or chase them off. That occult is not funny, hiring the cartel. October 2020, another investigator, for we all know this woman's innocent. We all know. We all know. He told on me before, too, on that recorded line. And several officers have admitted to listening to it, and today they found it again. They need to arrest FBI agent John. They were calling for his arrest last year. Different people, they need to do their job and arrest him. They know he doesn't have an authority. And like the prosecutor's office said, he was only pulling you so they get away with this. And the police would know that and they can't go along with it. I'm going to upload this.